great harbors, and great cities. Throughout history, the two have gone hand in hand. Civilization itself, the people, the ideas, the goods, was spread largely through the world's seaports and riverways. But old ways keep getting older. Lately, we've learned to sail a new ocean. And technology has created a new ship. A ship of the air, changing the face of our harbors and allowing the growth of great cities where once there existed only prairie. Dallas and Fort Worth are two such places. They've grown up next to an ocean of air. And our port is the airport. Dallas-Fort Worth Regional Airport. Fort Worth started as an Army outpost on the western frontier. And Dallas was simply a convenient place to cross the swampy Trinity River. In 1903, something happened at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina that changed all that. The phenomenon of air travel created a phenomenon in North Texas. Dallas and Fort Worth took off as surely and swiftly as the airplane did. Each city outgrew its airport facilities. And in a bold cooperative venture, a harbor for all of North Texas was conceived. DFW Airport. Within the boundaries of the airport, there's a government. A bank, corporate headquarters, medical facilities, shops, hotels and restaurants, golf and tennis, buses, cars, and trains. There's even a farm. It's big enough to easily accommodate its planned growth. In fact, it's bigger than most of the surrounding communities. Recognizing the limitations of other airports, DFW was designed in a modular fashion. Everything from terminals to runways was designed with growth in mind. And since opening day in 1974, new construction has been an ongoing process. To DFW's users, it means that getting bigger keeps making it better.
Well, I come into the airport 2 or 3 times a month anyway. There's hardly a month that doesn't go by that I don't use the airport. The things that impress me usually are the tight scheduling, the number of direct flights, and the so many different places, and the frequency and intervals. I seriously doubt that I could do my business the way I do if DFW didn't exist. It's very difficult to compare the DFW superior, and I'm so superior, and I sincerely mean that. Even the size, I don't think, has the direct relation to the convenience. I've been into very small airports that just from the design factor of the airport was very inconvenient to go in and out of. Primarily DFW, when you come in, the gate and the access and the baggage is all in one place.
I live in Longview. I have to travel in business pretty regularly. So what that generally means, of course, is catching a commuter flight here and taking it on into DFW for a connection. The commuter flights, when they come into the terminal, they park right up next to the big planes. So I'm right there. I don't have to walk a long way. I don't have to run to make a connection. I can't think of a time that I've ever missed a connection going into DFW, whether I've walked or whether I've taken AirTrans.
That brings up another convenience feature of DFW, AirTrans. From anywhere in the airport, travelers and employees have access to every terminal, remote parking, and hotel facilities. And like the rest of the airport, the AirTrans network was designed to grow as the airport grows. While the business traveler sees one side of DFW, the vacation traveler sees quite another.
Being able to go directly from Dallas to Hawaii with no layovers, no stops, no lost luggage, no rushing to catch your plane. That's what I like about it, just being able to get on here and get off over there.
Nobody likes waiting at airports, so DFW's baggage systems were designed to be fast and accurate. Lately, we've become accustomed to thinking of freight in terms of air freight. And at DFW, air freight is not simply an adjunct to passenger service. It's a vital and self-contained operation with its own terminals and staff. Dallas and Fort Worth are towns that business built, and DFW is an indispensable gateway to a whole world of commerce.
Speed and time are money. And when you have a drilling crew out in the remote regions waiting on this equipment, waiting on a pump, waiting on a drill bit, it's very expensive. So therefore we use air freight. Being located in the DFW area, of course, we go through DFW Airport. Of course, you know, there was a time when a pump would go out or we needed a part, and the rig would be down for 2 or 3 days. And this is something we can't afford, and we can honestly say this, that since the opening of DFW, we have not had a rig down for any length of time because of the need for parts.
We have a business that specializes in brass. We import brass from India, from England, from Ireland. I guess the main factor that we're concerned with is time, promptness. How quickly we can get an order once it has been placed. Not in this day and age. I think people would not be willing to wait for an order the length of time it would take to get it, other than by air freight nowadays.
Instead of looking upon a trip to the airport as a major annoyance, most DFW users actually like the place. It's a community that's a welcome part of the larger community. The imagination that inspired DFW is reflected everywhere you look in the Metroplex. In the architecture, in housing, in business, in recreation, in education, in the way of life we've come to expect here, in the way the new and the old work together. By day and by night, DFW is at the heart of it all, providing a link between our world and the rest of the world. We have come to depend on it as much as our roads, our electricity, and our water. And despite the complexity of this harbor we call the airport, we accept it so readily because it works so well. While most airports have become harder to use due to congestion and obsolescence, DFW will work as simply and easily in the future as it does now. To have it any other way would doom not only the facility, but our community as well. Yes, an ocean in North Texas would have been nice, but we've done very well without one. Thank you. The development of North Texas is proof of that. We have a harbor like no other harbor in the world, a port to the sky. The air is our ocean.